Hey everyone, this is Michael Murley, and this month's training is on the King Vision Video Laryngoscope system.
Durable, portable, affordable. The King Vision Video Laryngoscope. The King Vision Video Laryngoscope is a portable airway visualization system that incorporates a reusable high-quality digital video display with TFT LCD screen. The reusable display offers autocorrect for white balance, a full-color anti-glare screen, video output, battery indicator light, and advanced power management system to help conserve battery life, which is 3 AAA batteries.
These batteries need to be changed quarterly because we're not using the device that often. So we want to use this little ribbon to help remove them. The 3 batteries are also in the container, the box with them. So make sure when you're checking it off, those 3 batteries are in there. And when you're putting it back together, sometimes that little ribbon can get hung up by that gasket. So just be mindful of that. To turn the display on, there's a power button on the back side of it. You're going to push that for about 1 full second. Here we are checking off the unit in the morning. We're going to pull it out, push the power button, look for a little green light there in the corner. That's the battery indicator. It's good. We'll turn it back off and close the case. These handles are kept in its own sealed pack. We won't be able to inspect them very well until we go to use them on a patient. And when we do that, we want to look for imperfections, any rough edges, any cracks in the blade, anything that might cut or hurt the patient. There's a good view of the camera and the light at the bottom. These channeled blades need about 18 millimeters to get in the mouth, so that's about the width of 2 fingers. And it's important to remember that this will accommodate a 6.0 to 8.0 ET tube. It's very simple to connect the two. You have a gray and a white side, line up the collars, and you'll push it until you hear a click. Once that display is connected, you're going to push the power button for about 1 second and look for the green light in the upper left corner. That means you're good to go on your batteries. The light at the bottom of that blade can get pretty warm, about 40 Celsius. About 41 Celsius, you'll start damaging tissue. So don't keep that blade on for an extended period of time because if you touch the tissue, you could cause damage. There is a video out cable. It's a mini USB to RCA. We don't have those cables, and we also don't have the capability to view the footage. Some fundamentals of using this device: you want to make sure you lubricate that channel and lubricate the blade so it slides into the mouth. You don't want to hold this like a traditional laryngoscope. Just use 3 fingers and lightly hold the device. Put your thumb near where the channel starts. Here's kind of the traditional laryngoscope grab. You're going to grab it on the upper part, and this is just wrong. You're going to go deep because when you go down and in, unfortunately, it just places the camera too close to the glottic opening. 3 fingers right there where the channel meets the blade. Common issues with the display would be a split screen that's powering on prior to connecting to the blade. A static screen is when you're checking it off in the morning, it's not connected at all to the blade. And then a frozen screen is the one you're probably going to run into. That's when you're using it and your hand slides up and it bumps the display away from the blade, disconnecting it. You can see here, once it's disconnected, the screen's frozen. So there's a quick fix for that. We're just going to put it all back together, click it in, and then we're going to power it off and back on. We're also going to preload that ET tube. We want to make sure we insert it and we don't extend it past the point of where the camera is. So here's our setup. We're going to open up our KY. We're going to put it in the channel, and then we're going to lube the top and the bottom of this blade. I'm going to grab my ET tube size 6 to 8.0 and slide it in the channel, making sure it doesn't extend past where the camera is. I'm going to put my finger there to kind of stop it. Once we have the tube in place, we're ready to power on, and the device is ready to rock and roll. Once we get the device into the mouth, we're going to gently rotate around. We want to put that blade into the vallecula just like we would a Mac, not like a Miller. The biggest tip I got from friends of mine that use this device more than me is pre-suctioning the airway. If the camera does get messed up, just take a 10 ml flush and spray it down. So we loaded our tube, we'll power on. We're going to gently insert the blade, come around the corner, get a good view, and advance that tube. Here's our view. The top portion, the gray area, is the blade itself. Remember that the camera and the light are off-center to the left. So when our ET tube comes into the view, it's going to be off the kind of right shoulder of this, the right side of this screen. I have a full view of the epiglottis. This blade should fit right up in the vallecula. So make sure you have a full view of the epiglottis and a really nice view of that glottic opening and the vocal cords. So this is the best view right here. You don't want to be too close because it's harder to manipulate the tube when you're trying to pass it. So here's the view. We got a nice view of everything. We're far enough back where we can kind of change direction of the tube. But look in the upper left corner. See that red light flashing? That means these batteries need to be replaced. Slide that tube in. I did this one-handed. I was so proud of myself. Just a reminder, don't get too close with the camera. You want a nice panoramic view. So here I am. I have the blade in my hand like I would a laryngoscope. I'm grabbing it like a big strong man. And as I enter it into the mouth, I'm way too deep. So I'm not going to be able to manipulate that tube to get it up in the airway. It's also a common mistake to be too far to the right. It's easy to correct. You just pull the tube back to where it's out of view of the camera and rotate to the left or counterclockwise, and then you'll advance that tube through the trachea. In this example, you can see I go in and I have a pretty good view right here. When I go to advance, I get hung up on the right side. I just pull back, rotate to the left, and I slide it right in. You can also use a gum bougie with this device. If I have a patient that's bull-necked, anterior, or maybe even a C-collar where I can't flex their neck, I'm going to preload a gum bougie. In this example, we have a C-collar in place. We're rocking the Lucas 3, and I'm going to preload this gum bougie. As I go in, look, I'm going to be off to the right, but a simple correction, rotating to the left, lines me right up with the trachea. Then I can advance that ET tube, and I am solid. Sometimes it's going to be difficult to use this device with a patient with a big chest. Some strategies would be to come in from the side like a lateral blade insertion. Another technique you can try is to remove the display altogether. Here it's hitting the chest. We're just going to pop the display off. We'll rotate in the handle, and then we'll slide the display back in place till it clicks, push power. We'll get the view we're looking for and advance that tube. The device can also be used to confirm ET tube placement during transport or during transfer of the patient at the emergency room. Bring the device inside, slide it into their mouth, and have someone witness that that is a good tube. Also remember to use traditional means of tube confirmation. Fogging in the tube, good lung sounds, quiet epigastrium, end-tidal CO2. Do those and also document that during the initial intubation and anytime you move that patient or transfer them to the next level of care. After we're finished using the device, the handle is disposable. Chunk it. The display, we're going to clean that, but we want to make sure that we do not submerge the display in any liquids, because not only will it mess it up, it will also void the warranty. Once again, this is Michael Murley. I had a great time putting this King Vision training together. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did making it. If you have any questions, email me at michaelmurley73@gmail.com. I would like to thank Tim Kervin from Air Care. He was nice enough to give me some tips and tricks on using the King Vision, and I really do appreciate it. I hope you all have a great day. Give me a holler if you need anything. Until next time, later.